Transport Minister Barbara Creecy is conducting an oversight visit of the Port of Mossel Bay in the Western Cape and has shared with us some of her latest plans. We'll go live now to our Nqobile Madlala, who is there talking to the Minister about some of the announcements she made just a short time ago. Big plans on the way for the Port of Mossel Bay. Nqobile.
Yes, big plans indeed, Iman. In fact, if you look at this port and how small it is, but the capabilities that they're saying will potentially be coming is even more interesting. We know that this port is mainly for fishing and is mainly used for the fishing industry. We know that it's also used for marine services, as well as just the parking of some of the boats or big boats that have come here. So now they're saying more can be done, and I want to bring in the Transport Minister to speak to us about that. You've spoken about Transnet potentially saying that they want to make this port much bigger.
Yes, indeed. Currently there is a request for information out, which will close on the 29th of November. And there's a big meeting taking place here on Wednesday with different sectors of the economy, the agricultural sector, marine engineering, fishing, and of course, most importantly, tourism. Originally, this port was primarily involved with liquid bulk, bringing in crude oil for refining. Obviously, over the last 10 years, that has declined. And we are very concerned that there needs to be alternative forms of economic development here so that we are creating more jobs in Mossel Bay. Fishing, as you've mentioned, is a big industry. There's always been some boat repairs here. We believe that it's important to expand the marine engineering services, and already there are plans next year to begin the construction of a new slipway and dry dock facility that can accommodate vessels up to 500 tons. Behind me, we are busy constructing a passenger reception center for passengers that come off cruise vessels. At the moment, cruise vessels that are 150 meters in length can enter this port. Larger vessels anchor in the bay, and passengers are ferried in here. The intention is to expand the dock that we are currently standing on to the north, so that vessels up to 300 meters, cruise vessels, can anchor. That would obviously bring in a lot of visitors here and support the broader tourism economy of the Garden Route. So we do think that tourism, marine engineering, and of course, if we were to deepen this port, there's a feasibility study underway. We could also bring in larger fishing vessels. So these are all areas that are currently being explored to expand this port and improve the facilities that are available here.
And what is the role of the government in helping Transnet do this, not just only here, but also nationwide?
Well, obviously, one of the areas that we're working on with Transnet is a plan to integrate all of our ports and have a long-term vision about what we want to do where and what the expansion processes would be. Of course, we are supporting Transnet with its corporatization and also with the involvement of third parties. We still want to bring in third-party operators on our key corridors that are responsible for freight and logistics. There's a lot of investment required in Transnet to get us back to where we were in the late 2017, 2018, when we were moving to 20 million tons of freight a year. We need to get back even in excess of that number. So third-party operators are obviously very important, and we are supporting the process of Transnet putting out the network statement, which will open up the possibility for third-party operators.
And of course, you've done this walkabout, and one would question, in terms of the oversight and what you have seen, do you feel that this is feasible?
Yes, I think definitely. There are already important anchor tenants here. There's already appetite. And this port is not able to capacitate or accommodate the existing appetite. I'm told there's a waiting list for recreational vessels to anchor here. There's an ever-increasing number of cruise vessels that want to bring visitors to the garden route. So I think that there is a lot of appetite, and we're working together with the municipalities, with Westgrow, with the National Department of Tourism. So I think that there is appetite here, and it can be successful.
Minister, what's the long-term goal or the vision for the work that you are doing in terms of transport, the logistics, but also including the water economy?
Well, I'm guided by 5 numbers. 250 million tons per annum of freight that must move on our rail corridors. 25 to 30 gross crane moves an hour. That's the loading and unloading of ships, so that we don't have vessels waiting outside of our ports, and we don't have delays in the loading and unloading of vessels in our ports. 600 million passenger journeys per annum. That is what we need to get PRASA passenger services back to, so that we are providing cheap and affordable transport for the working public and also for scholars each and every day. 30 million passenger journeys to our airports. I think we shouldn't forget that aviation is a very important aspect of our transport sector, and of course 1.2 million tons of air freight going through our airports. These targets are my targets for 2029, and I'm working hard on making sure that we up the current numbers and we get the investment that would make these targets possible.
And this development, what is the year that you have in mind where you'll see it actually taking place or implemented?
Well, the request for information is out now. The port manager is telling me that the intention would be to finish the works here by 2030 or 2031.
Thank you very much, Minister, for speaking to us. That's the Minister of Transport, Iman. There are big plans for this port, but not only this port alone, but just transport in general, to make sure that it works, and touching even on PRASA there and touching on the freight industry. You'll remember what's been happening. Remember the corridor in Lebombo corridor as well, where we saw the freight industry also struggling in that side. So she's saying that with expanding such ports, that means that more work can be done also in the water economy, which also eases some of those pressures that you will see on the road.
Nqobile Madlala, thank you very much. Live for us in the Port of Mossel Bay in the Western Cape. This is how we end Newsfeed AM. Thank you very much for being with us. Daytime Update is up next. Michelle Craig